Hey, welcome back to Karen's Papercraft. Thank you very much for watching. Wat leuk dat je weer kijkt. Dankjewel. I like to create a variety of trick-or-treat packaging, and today I have this quick coffin box to show you. Now, the box itself is 2 inches by 1 inch by half an inch, and it would take another small sweet if you can't get hold of these wacky skeletons. So come and join me and watch how you can make a quick coffin box. I found these wacky chocolates and well, I just couldn't resist them, and I designed this box to go around them. I'll show you the supplies I've used. I've made my 3 boxes in soft suede, in rich raspberry and gorgeous grape, and I'm going to make it today in gorgeous grape because I think what I'm doing will show up better on the lighter colour on film. So I'm going to need a piece of gorgeous grape. I've done some cutting. I'm going to use this to show you as an example. You need a chocolate and I need some basic black to make my bats. And the bats were made with the Scary Silhouette dies together with the Scary Cute stamp set, and I think I'm going to do some more decorations on my box using the stamp set as well. I'm not sure yet. I'm also going to use my adhesive sheets for the bats to adhere them. It makes adhering them more easy. Right, I think I've told you all the supplies. Yes, first I'm going to show you how you can make these little bats, the Scary Cute bats. They're really tiny. So I'm going to need my piece of basic black and the adhesive sheets. Now I still have a scrap left because in my box, this is where I keep the adhesive sheets, and here I keep scraps, and you can always use them. You see I've used this bit of black, but I'll show you how you can attach the adhesive sheet to the cardstock in case you don't know. If you do, you can skip to the next chapter in the video. On the adhesive sheets, they are sticky on both sides, and on one end you can release this backing paper. Then you can put some cardstock on top, and here you can see that I've not used a piece which is big enough to cover all of it, because you can cut this off, and I usually do this with some scissors that I use for glue only. They have serrated edges so the glue doesn't stick to the scissors, and here there's a piece sticking out, and with your finger you can rub off the adhesive, and then you can cut this to size as well. Use your trimmer if you want to. Now this is a piece that goes back in there, and this piece, this is the one that goes into my scrap tray, and you can see that you can issue this card, and this is another scrap which I'm putting in the other scraps. I'm being very clear, aren't I? Sorry. And then with these Scary Cute dies, you can cut these bats. You've got bigger ones as well, but I liked the small ones because the box is small. So you just put them on, and you put your die on the cardstock. I'll just show you in detail. So the sticky side is at the bottom, because if you release this paper, this end, now of course it doesn't work, but believe me, there'll be stickiness on the bats. So you put your bats with the cutting side down onto the cardstock, and then you run them through your die cut machine. I'm not going to do that, which leaves you with these bats. And here you see the stickiness on the back, and I can remove that backing paper later and then stick my bats to the box, but I'll show you that later. So first I'll put my dies away in a safe place. You could also, if you wanted to, of course, stamp the bats. That would save time even more, because there are bats, small bats, in the stamp set. Do you see? So you could do that as well. Right, so I've shown you how I make the bats. Then I'm going to show you how to make the box. I'll put it in here. The box is made up of 4 parts. There are 2 coffin shapes, and then there's a lid and a bottom for the box. And as I said, I'm going to show you how to make the box. I'll start with the bottom. For the bottom, you need a piece which is 3 by 2 inches, and you need a piece which is slightly bigger. Otherwise your lid won't be able to fit over the bottom. I'll show you how I do that. So this is 3 by 2. Now you want a piece which is just over 3 inches and just over 2 inches. So you go on your trimmer to the 3-inch mark, and then you move 1 mark over that. Not 2, because that's the 1/8 of a mark, and that is too big. So you want to go over just 1, which is a 1/16 of an inch, and then you cut. And then you do the same thing for the 2. So you go to the 2 inches, and you move over just 1 mark, that is a 1/16 of an inch, and you cut. And now this piece, I hope it shows on film, is ever so slightly bigger than the other one, and that shows you, sorry, and that is the size that you want for the lid. I'm going to score these 2 pieces at 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. And I'm using the inch mark there now, it's just easier. It wasn't very clever of me to write on this, was it? Because will it show? No, because the coffin piece will be on top, so that's okay. So I'm going to do some more scoring, 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. And while I was preparing for filming, I thought I could do some stamping inside the box as well, because this is going to be the outside of the bottom. Now I do know what the bottom is, so that's okay. I could put some stamping in there, couldn't I? For example, the boo. So, and could I fit the bats in? Let's see if they would fit. They would, yes, okay. So I'm going to do some stamping, and I've taken the Gorgeous Grape ink as well. I'm getting out 2 small blocks. These are the A blocks. Yeah, fits inside. And then, oh, don't take the boo upside down. Right, so, and as I said before, you could stamp the bats on the outside of the box, same as instead of putting the die-cut bats on. I was thinking for that one. Okay, now I'm going to put tear and tape on my boxes, the bottom and the lid, and I'm going to do that before I even cut or fold, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to end up with really tiny glue flaps, and when they're so tiny, there is a chance that when you cut first, that you might tear them off when you put the tear and tape on, and there's no danger of that here. So I'm just attaching a small piece of tear and tape in each corner, and then in a minute I'm going to fold them, and when I've folded them, I will, at the same time, I will have put pressure on the tear and tape, so there's no need to go over them an extra time with the bone folder, which I normally do. If you watch my videos more often, you see that I always advise to make sure that the tear and tape sticks well. It's also easier to remove the backing paper then. So the last bit goes on, and see, normally I would take my bone folder and put pressure on, but now I'm just going to fold my edges over, and you use your bone folder anyway. So this way I am making sure that the tear and tape sticks well. Here too. Now the cutting for both halves is exactly the same. I'll show you. Just need a different pair of scissors. You cut up, so you take the box with the narrower end, you cut up and then you wedge the flap. And because of the tear and tape, it may stick to your scissors a bit, so you have to be careful about that. Cut up straight, wedge, wedge. And the same thing for the other part. So I'll go and do that and speed that up. So here you have the two halves. This is the bottom because I did some stamping there, and this should be slightly larger, and I'll show you how to put them together. With your take your pick tool, you remove the paper backing, and again it's the same thing for both halves, so when I've shown you one, you know how to do the other half as well. I didn't shorten these glue flaps because I want something to get hold of. If you shorten them, then the only thing you can take in your hands is the glue, and that will be inconvenient. So here you see at the very end I can maneuver it, but it is tricky, it is small, so be careful. So I'm making sure that the edges align properly, and then you press, fold that one in a bit and that one too, and then this one is stuck a bit, okay. And then with your bone folder you push down on the edges, so in the corners where the tear and tape is, and this is the bottom part. And again, same thing for the top. I'll speed up for that as well. And you see it fits beautifully. So that's the bottom and the top half. Now for the coffin shape, for that you need 2 pieces of cardstock, and I'm going to show you with this one how I do the measuring, because I think it doesn't show up really well when filming because of the darker paper. So you need a piece that is 1 3/4 by 2 3/4. And you're going to do some measuring. I know that the width of my ruler is exactly 1 inch. If you don't have a ruler which has that measurement, you can use your grid paper, and you go to the 1 inch mark and then you draw a line across. Then you have a top part and a bottom part. From the bottom part, and I'm using my grid paper again, you just put a mark at the 1/4 inch, and there too, and at the top part you just go over a 1/4 inch. So I suppose it is half in between. I'll blend in the measurements for you because I just can't remember now. And then with your pencil you draw a line from that one mark to the other mark, and here too, you see, and here again. So you start in that edge, that corner bit from the edge, and you go there, and finally from this mark again to that mark, and then you can see how you have to do the cutting. So it's very easy. And then you end up with two of these shapes. I'll go and make them, and when I've done that in the way that I did here, I'll be back with you. So I've cut my coffin shapes. I have used my eraser to take away any pencil lines, and before I put the box together I have a cutting tip for you. When you're cutting from one end to another end and you want to be precise about it, it's better not to look where your scissors are, but where your scissors are going to. So I'll show you. So initially I do look where my scissors are, here at the bottom, but then to make the cut I look to where the scissors have to go, and then you can make one clean cut. This one is smaller, so it's easier. So I'm looking here now, but when I start cutting I look where my scissors have to end up, and then you can direct them. And then the cutting is really easy. You could, I suppose, use your trimmer for this as well, but there's really no need to, because you can make these cuts really easily. So that's the cutting done. I'm going to put a cross on the coffin part, just one, and I'm putting it in the middle on my grid paper, and I'm putting a cross on in pencil first, because I want to make sure that it's in the right position. Something like that. Yes, I do like that. And then with a Stampin' Write marker, just a dark colour, I go over the pencil line again. And I'm going to give my coffin a weathered look, because, well, if you have a skeleton inside, it's been in the ground for a while, hasn't it? So with a sponge dauber and the gorgeous grape ink, I just go around these edges, antiquing my coffin. You don't have to be very neat about it, because, hey, it's been in the ground, hasn't it? You don't normally bury a skeleton. It must have been buried quite a while. Morbid, I know, but Halloween, okay. Now this adds an extra touch to your coffin box. You could skip this process entirely if you wanted to, then it would be even quicker to make. But I like this weathered look. It's just that little extra to a project which makes it look better. The box too, I'm going to give this sort of weathered look along the bottom and the corners. There's no need to do this along the top, because that's going to be glued onto the part, and the bottom too, along the top there, corners. So I'm going to put the box together, and first I want to make sure that I have my elements in the right direction. So the bottom part goes that way, and then I want the top part first, so I'm putting it down like this, and I'm going to use the Tombow for this. There's no need to put a lot on, just a little, but make sure it goes all over. And then I'm going to look from the top and put it on, and I'm just checking to make sure, yeah, the bottom part is still okay, otherwise you'll be sticking it up on upside down. So from the top, and sorry if my head is obscuring the view, this should do it. So I'll put it back in the center so you can see what I'm doing, and I'm pushing down very lightly. And again, I'm going to attach the bottom in the same way. So put some Tombow very thinly, but spread it evenly. And then again, from the top, I'm looking, I'm trying to get it on straight. and now I can put it on my table and push down, and here the bottom part like that, so then they'll end up evenly. Give it just some more time to dry. I managed to get glue on my finger, that's why my skeleton moved. It's not alive. So I'll open the box very carefully. It hasn't dried yet, has it? Well, I'll use the other one. You can open the box very carefully when it has dried, and then you can put your skeleton in like that. And there you go. A cute box finished. Okay, and I'm back because I forgot to put my bats on. And can't, oh well, I can pick it up. If you have difficulty picking up small elements, of course one of the ends of your pick your tool has this sticky part and makes it easy to pick things up. I have two of these actually, so then I can leave all my tool ends on, because these unscrew and then you can put another thing on, like this spatula for example, and the brush tip. And this is convenient because then it doesn't roll off your desk. With my old piercing tool, you see sometimes this can roll off, so that one is convenient. And as I said, I have two, so that I can leave all my elements on permanently. You don't have to exchange them every time. Right, so I'm going to show you how you can remove the backing. I promise you that. I'll put in my silicone craft seat, you'll be able to see better what I'm doing. So with the pointy end, I just lift the backing paper and then you can put it on the lid. This would have been easier if I'd done it before sticking the box together, obviously, but I forgot, so I'm showing you now. And another one on. I'll just push from the back to make sure it adheres properly. Then put in the chocolate, attach the lid, and you have a cute coffin box finished. Now I'm ready. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I enjoyed making it for you. Please do feel free to check out all the other videos on my channel. Thank you very much for watching. Dankjewel voor het kijken and see you next time. Bye bye. Tot ziens.